Call to order the City of Wyoming January 21st, 2020 City Council meeting. Let the record reflect we do have a quorum. Member Luger, Member Yeager, and Mayor Iverson are present. Absent is Member Schilling and Member Zeros. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Open forum and is an opportunity for members of the public to address the City Council on items that are not on the current agenda. If you'd like to speak for something on the agenda, you can sign up in the back. Items requiring council action may be deferred to staff or boards and commissions for research and future council agendas if appropriate. You will be limited to 3 minutes, and we ask that you conduct yourself in a professional, courteous manner and refrain from the use of profanity. Failure to abide by this policy may result in the loss of your privilege to speak. Do we have anybody here tonight that would like to speak in the open forum? No? If not, we'll move on to the approval of minutes. Number 1 on our agenda, consider approving the minutes of the regular meeting of the Wyoming, Minnesota City Council for January 7, 2020. If there are no changes or comments, do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
We have a motion to approve by Member Luger. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second by Member Yeager. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. We'll move on to the consent agenda, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Does anyone wish to pull an item for the consent agenda for further discussion?
I'll pull number 6.
Okay, we'll pull number 6. Are there any others? If not, we need a motion to approve consent agenda 2, 3, 4, and 5.
So moved.
We have a motion to approve by Member Luger. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second by Member Yeager. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So approved. Number 6, Member Luger.
So I just wanted to pull this item because I wanted to acknowledge the work that city staff has put into it. Gender neutral language acknowledges probably about 100 years past due that men aren't the only capable leaders in government or anywhere else. And the use of gender pronouns in our city code is currently largely male specific, which is not only an insult to everyone who doesn't identify as a male, but certainly isn't representative of our reality. We have an obligation to be inclusive of everyone in our community and to acknowledge that words have power and that language has meaning. And so our representatives, my thought is that our residents have a right to be represented accurately. So this was an initiative that I brought forward because I feel like this is a small but very important step forward. So thanks to city staff for all the work and effort that was put into this.
Okay. Are there any other comments? If not, we need a motion to approve number 6 on the consent agenda.
So moved.
We have a motion to approve by Member Luger. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Member Yeager. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Number 7, or excuse me, for our reports, does anybody wish to pull a report for further discussion? And I will pull number 7, please. Anybody else? No? All right. So number 7 is a report from the Public Safety Director, Chief Hoppy. What I would like to say is thank you to Chief Hoppy for working on the Pro Phoenix, and you saved taxpayers a lot of money. I know you put in a lot of time and effort. You also helped one of our sister cities as well kind of get their program going as well. So I just would like to say thank you for all that hard work you put into it. You're welcome. All right, from there we'll move on to new business, which is number 12. To consider resolution 200110, a resolution approving preliminary plot D19007, Adlin West, application Perry Adlin Pioneer Road, property ID number 21.10387.00. Mr. Weck?
Madam Mayor and council members, this is a preliminary plat, 15 lots, as well as septic. The property is currently zoned rural residential 2 or R2, so 2-acre minimum lot size with 1 acre of buildable area. As proposed, the lots have the required area for both lot and septic and buildable. The application was received too late for me to do soil boring verification of the septic sites, but they're consistent with what the Chisaro County Soil Survey has, and then also other systems I've inspected in the area. During the public hearing, lot number 9, we already kind of knew there was a house or some properties on, or buildings on the property in the past. The adjoining neighbor to the east wanted to make sure that the well had been properly sealed. So that was one of the conditions the planning commission added, was to verify the location of the well, because it can't be in the septic area for one. So we want to make sure where it's at, and then 2, to make sure it was properly sealed when the home was demolished. So the planning commission is recommending approval with 21 conditions. Most of them are engineering conditions. They'll be taken care of with the drawings. So again, the planning commission's recommended approval of preliminary plat.
All right, questions from council?
I do have one.
Member Yeager?
Is it, I mean, 21 conditions, that's the most I've seen.
Usually, when I was doing the reports, I would get a letter from the city engineer, and I would include the date of that letter, and it might be longer than that.
Yeah.
I think to condense things, they just put them all on the same page,
Okay.
basically.
I was just, since they seem to be a large number of conditions this time, does the developer, will he be able to meet all of them?
Yes, we talked about
Okay.
that, yeah. That should be any problem.
That's fine.
Right, I know I was at the planning commission, and there was a lot of people here, and they all seemed to be pretty much in favor for it once their questions got answered, and I think it'll look really nice. So, with that, do we have a motion to approve? And I guess I would make sure we include the recommendations 1 through 21.
It's on the resolution.
What's that?
It's on the resolution.
All right, so we need a motion to approve Resolution 20-0110, a resolution approving primary plat D-19007, Adland West. Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
We have a motion to approve by Member Luger. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Member Yeager. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Number 13, to consider Resolution 20-0111, a resolution to authorize the purchase of 2 pumps from Minnesota Pump Works for lift station number 8 in the amount of $13,592.08. Mr. Elmjud.
Mayor Everson and council members, lift station 8 on Kettle River Boulevard is by Holiday Gas Station, and it's part of our 2020 rehab project for this year. And the pumps are ohmed out, just like they're dead on as far as the windings in the motors. And this again is a lift station that we'd want to put new pumps in, 2 new pumps, and with a new control panel. And let me go back. Last night, the lift station actually failed with the frost heaved up the control panel and the power blew, and we got it back up and running. And it's in dire needs of getting replaced. But with these 2 pumps, again, we wouldn't have to go back and look at it for another 10 to 15 years. Once the new pumps are just annual maintenance on parts that are wear parts, so they're actually called wear rings and stuff. And all of this would come out of the fund for the improvement, which is $50,000. And the control panels come in about $30,000, and so we're within budget. And so we'd recommend replacing both pumps for $13,592.08 from Minnesota Pump as part of the project for the 2020 rehab.
Okay, all right, any questions? There are no questions. We need a motion to approve Resolution 20-0111, the authorization to purchase 2 pumps for Minnesota Pump Works for lift station number 8 in the amount of $13,592.08. Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion to approve by Member Luger. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Member Yeager. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So approved. Number 14, a resolution 20-0112, a resolution to authorize the purchase of 1 pump from Minnesota Pump Works for lift station number 11 in the amount of $6,636. Mr. Elmjeld.
Yes, on November 15th, you approved one of the pumps for this lift station, and they're both motor windings are shot, so it's very close to comparable for it's just getting a new pump. And this particular one, the pump that you had replaced, I did get reimbursed $3,947 from the League of Minnesota Cities on our equipment replacement because it failed. But this pump that we're gonna replace now, we will not get money back because it's just normal wear and tear. And again, it's the same type of pump as other lift stations. And so for the price of $6,636 from Minnesota Pump Works, again, we'd like to replace this second pump. And we're waiting for the 2020 budget to come around.
How many more pumps do we have left to,
I
or lift
think
stations, sorry?
as we put in rehab a lift station with the control panels, there's enough money in that fund, we'll be replacing the pumps as part of the rehab, which makes sense.
Yeah.
To put everything in new. But most of the pumps have been rebuilt, the past practice. And so we'll be looking at them as, there's like 24 more pumps that they're not failing. They've been inspected, but they will be coming up within 5 years to 10.
It's great that we're planning for them.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Perfect. All right, any further questions? If not, we need a motion to approve Resolution 20-0112, a resolution to authorize the purchase of one pump from Minnesota Pump Works for lift station number 11 in the amount of $6,636. I'll move to approve. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second by Member Luger. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Number 15, to consider a work session on February 12th, 2020 at 6 p.m. Mr. Linwood?
Yes, Mayor, members of council. This item is in regards to the project last year that council moved forward on in regards to some of the improvements at Wyoming City Hall. Wool Architects would like to be present to discuss with council the potential timeline and expectations of those projects. So the beginning of that work session would be just to have some conversations with them in regards to that. The second component would just be the council's annual exercise, going through our annual strategic planning and goals and initiative setting. So we'd like to earmark that for that exercise as well that night.
All right, are there any questions about that date, or does that work?
That works for me.
That's fine.
All right, then it looks like we'll approve that. Do we need to make a motion on that?
Yes, please,
Okay.
please do. To
Okay,
set
we
the
need
work
a motion
session.
to approve the work session on February 12th, 2020 at 6 p.m.
So moved.
And I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? So approved. Residents are able to come to that too as well,
Absolutely,
right?
yes, absolutely.
So if you don't have anything going on February 12th at 6 p.m., come on up, see what we do. So, all right, we will do council reports, and we will start with Member Yeager.
Oh, no report, and thank you all for coming.
All right, and Member Luger?
I attended the Joint Park Planning Commission on, it would have been last Tuesday, where the commission determined that it was in the better interest of the city to accept the money from the developer rather than parkland.
Which developer?
Well, it was covered in the,
Moxus,
Okay.
over on Kettle River. Okay, anything else?
nope, that's it.
All right, I attended the EDA meeting. We had goal setting for 2020, and we voted to keep the same officers as last year. I also attended the Planning Commission, which had a great turnout for the Adlin development. And I also attended the Minnesota Mayors Association Executive Board meeting, as I have now moved up to second chair. We had a lot of media attention this past week. I attended the Fox and Front breakfast at Village Inn. It was great to spotlight the city of Wyoming. And on Monday, I also welcomed Congressman Stauber to our city as he announced his re-election bid for Congress at Premier Pontoon. Very exciting that he was in our city for manufacturing in announcing that. So I also, that's it. And then this week, I'm looking forward to attending the League of Minnesota Cities Experienced Elected Official Training. The training will be focused on ethical leadership skills and how to identify and find creative solutions for issues in our city, and that will be all day Friday and part of Saturday. So should be a great training. Mr. Linwood.
Yes, Mayor, if I may, one last item for the public and the press that may be interested. On Tuesday, January 28th, there will be a meeting at Lords of Lutheran Church for the Highway 8 project. So that'll be about the safety mobility improvements along that corridor. So we're encouraging Wyoming residents to please attend that.
And I believe Kara Levin did a story on that just recently with Mr. Triplett. So if you haven't seen that, Google that. It's a really good story and what we're trying to do. So, and then anybody is welcome to check out the tanker when we're done. Okay, so we have our new tanker, so anybody can come out when we're done here with council and take a look at that fire truck. So with that, I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Need a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you for coming. That was super fast. Well, almost, I think. Pretty, is it? It's pretty.